Yeah, it's 6 o'clock.
Yes. Yes.
It's 6 o'clock. Before we call the meeting to order, I just want to point out that Larry Worthy is here with his new ambassador named Angel. Just so y'all can get to know Angel a little bit. Here he is.
This is Angel. She's going to follow all the footsteps that Code did, if you knew who Code was. She's going to be doing La Bonheur, St. Jude. She's going to go to all the hospitals as Code did. She's going to bring hope to the hopeless. And that's what Code did, and that's what Angel's going to do. She's got a long life. She's going to have the best life. She's going to serve the whole city and everyone. And I look forward to the years to come and taking her everywhere. And her name is Angel. And I brought to the light a beautiful picture of her. And it says, God sent her without wings, so no one knows she's an angel.
Thank you, Larry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You want, sir?
Thank you, sir.
You get one.
I haven't got
Did you get one?
I got
Thank you, Mayor and everyone, for letting me introduce Angel. I think everyone knows the impact that she'll have.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you so much for having us. Let's go, Angel. You ready? You ready? Let's go. All right, come on, walk down here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. I am going to call this meeting to order, and we are going to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by a local Boy Scout named Henry Bowling. If you would come up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to present you with the City of Hernando pen. Thank you, sir. Kit, could I ask you to give our invocation today?
Sure. Lord, we come to you in prayer. We thank you for who you are. We thank you for how you've blessed this city. We thank you for sending your son and the holiday that we just celebrated for his resurrection. God, I just pray that you would guide our decisions today, that they would be in line with your will, and that they would be for the good of the people of this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The agenda is approved. Item 5 is to approve the docket of claim numbers listed on your agenda. Could I have a motion?
Before we, there's a state statute 213513 that requires us to have a expense and revenue report before the first meeting of every month.
Okay.
So we don't have that, so I'm going to have to vote against the doctor claims.
Okay.
I'm just going to state that for the record.
All right. And just to reply to that, what I thought we had agreed on is that we were going to get a revenue and expense report between the first and second meetings of each month, because there's really no way to get, if the meeting falls on the first, there's no way we could even have one. So does that work for y'all or not work?
I just showed Stephen the state statute. It's very crystal clear. Did you?
Yeah, I did see that right before the meeting, Alderman Wicker, and this is the first I've heard of any of this discussion, and, you know, did the board take action to approve it being done between the first and second?
We
meetings?
didn't. We just had a general discussion about it, but, yeah.
Is that long-standing agreement that you've had?
No, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just almost impossible to get one out on the first when the day after the month ends. So, but we'll work on it and we'll report back on that. We'll talk to the state auditor's office and see what's normally done, and we'll report back at the next meeting if that works. But I understand what you're saying, Alderman Wicker.
No problem.
Okay, we'll put that on our to-do list.
Just for the record, I'm just reading what I was sent. Alderman Wicker sent me this, the statute. It says, and for the record, at the regular meeting in each month, the city clerk shall submit to the governing authorities of the municipality a report showing the expenditures and liabilities incurred against each separate budget appropriation, so on and so forth. It doesn't have specifically at the first regular meeting. It needs to be presented at the regular meeting, because there's some cities that have one regular meeting a month and some have two.
That's true.
So they don't necessarily, I'm not trying to split hairs with you. Alderman Wicker. But I know, you can meet me in the parking lot, I guess, I don't know. But I think they are technically meeting the statute by providing it each month. Now, have there been months when they weren't presented to us?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think we can all agree that has happened. And that was, I think, my want and my ask was that has to stop moving forward. Like, we have to have these to continue to be financially, more responsible moving forward.
And Nicole and I both agree with that. So, okay. So, having heard from Alderman Wicker, can I have a roll call vote on the docket of claims item? Oh, we don't have a motion yet. We need that, don't we? Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the docket of claims?
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote.
Alderman Piper.
Aye.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson. Alderman Wicker.
No.
And Alderman Kitchens.
No.
And that motion passes. Item 6 is to approve the minutes from the regular Mayor and Board of Aldermen meeting of March 17th. Can I have a motion on that item?
Mayor, I'm going to recuse myself from this vote.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I don't think, there's not going to be any discussion.
Okay.
So there's a motion, there's a second. We'll have a roll call vote on the approval of those minutes from March 17th.
Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson. And Alderman Wicker.
Aye.
And that motion passes. Item 7 is to approve the minutes from the special meeting of March 24th, 2026. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We'll have a roll call vote.
Alderman Wicker. Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman Piper.
Aye.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson.
And that motion passes. Next is the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I had one quick favor to ask with this,
Yes, sir.
or one thing I think we need to heavily consider, item M, with the potential move of the farmer's market to Center Street. And I know this is something that has been at least like somewhat discussed, is we really need to have an installation of a crosswalk from Church Park over to like that La Siesta corner. That's not a really great description of.
Oh, across Commerce
Yeah,
Street.
because there's people that come from that Northview, Northern Street, and they're gonna come over to the farmer's market walking, and that's just gonna be wide open in that intersection. We've talked about it before, just because like that park is being so much more utilized by,
Okay.
teenagers and stuff, and there's only so many places to park, but I think we need a crosswalk right there. I don't know how quickly we can get that done. We got like 2.5 weeks, so that may be an impossible ask, but I think it's something we need to.
Okay, I'm going to look at our city engineer. Joe, would you be willing to look at the Uniform Traffic Control Manual and see what kind of signage and what kind of crosswalk is required where there is not a four-way stop? So we can get that done. We can do it ourselves, I believe, and fairly inexpensively if we could just make sure we do it properly. Because when you put one where there's not a four-way stop, if you don't signage it right, you can incur some liability and maybe even get
Right.
somebody run over. So we want to make sure we do it safely.
Okay.
And we'll get to work on that.
Thank you.
I think it's a good idea.
Yep. Okay. All right. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion, sorry.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 9 is the personnel docket. Can I have a motion on that?
Motion. Second.
The motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote.
Alderman Robinson. Alderman Wicker.
Aye.
Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman Piper.
Aye.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
And that motion passes. Item 10 is the donations docket. Can I have a motion on that?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The donations docket is accepted. Item 11 is a report from the Mayor's Youth Council President Luke Wilburn. about the recent MML Statewide Youth Leadership Summit at Jackson State University, and we're going to be recognizing the graduating seniors. I do want to say, Luke is our president, James Fong, James, raise your hand, our vice president, Holden Hale is our secretary, Ellie Grahon, you did make it. She is our communications lady, and our chaplain is Jamarius Jackson. So those are our officers, and while we're at it, if all the seniors would stand for us. Thank y'all for your service. I appreciate y'all. And just kind of get yourselves together. As soon as Luke finishes his long speech, I want y'all to come up and get a quick picture with the board, just the seniors, okay? All right, Luke, it's all yours.
Good evening. My name is Luke Wilburn, and I currently serve as the president of the Hernando Mayor's Youth Council. This year has been truly phenomenal as we have broken records of attendance and reached more community service than ever before. Throughout the year, our Mayor's Youth Council has been actively involved serving across our community, whether it was helping at the Water Tower 10K and Half Marathon, supporting events like Challenger Soccer and Pawpalooza, or volunteering at local traditions like the Dickens of a Christmas and the Hernando Christmas Parade. Our students consistently showed up to give back. We have had the opportunity to serve at events such as the Fall Bazaar, Halloween Fest at the Hernando Public Library, Cookies with Santa, and the Young at Heart Senior Luncheons, Touch a Truck, along with several others throughout the year. All these efforts have added up to over 815 hours of community service. Alongside serving, we've had the privilege of learning from a wide range of leaders who have invested their time into our students during our biweekly meetings. We've heard from individuals such as Mayors Chip Johnson, Gia Matheny, Jared Barkley, Representative Rodney Hall, Representative Doc Harris, Lee Germany, Sheriff Tuggle, Northwest Community College President Dr. Michael Heindel, and Letitia Eldred. Their insight has helped shape our understanding of leadership, service, and what it means to give back to our community. That growth has carried into one of our biggest experiences of the year, the Statewide Youth Leadership Summit, hosted by the Mississippi Municipal League. Students who had completed over 20 hours of community service earned the opportunity to attend, and this year we brought a record-breaking 34 students to Jackson. During our trip to Jackson, we toured the state capitol, we met with the Secretary of State's office, we connected with Representatives Doc Harris and Senator Michael McClendon, and we spent time at the Mississippi Supreme Court with Justice Coleman, who gave us a tour of the court and answered questions from our group. Even outside of scheduled events, our students had the unique opportunity to meet U.S. Senator Roger Wicker at our hotel. And to make the experience even more special, members of our executive council and selected students had the honor of leading the opening ceremony at the summit. Altogether, it was an experience that challenged us to think bigger of how we can lead and serve across the state of Mississippi. For me personally, it's been an incredible honor to serve as president of this organization for the past 3 years. This week marks my final meeting with the Mayor's Youth Council as I prepare to graduate and attend the University of Mississippi in the fall. When I first joined in the spring of 2022, we only had 10 students. Since then, through hard work and dedication of our executive council and leadership of our organization administrator, Scott Smith, we've grown to 111 members with an average of 77 students attending each meeting. And while that growth is super exciting, it would have not been possible without the work of Mr. Scott. From working with local leaders to planning meetings and events and guiding our executive council, he has poured countless hours into this organization. Over the past 4 years, he's been more than just an administrator. He's been a mentor, a leader, and a friend to many of us, constantly pushing us to grow and make a difference in our community. I want to close by thanking the mayor, the board of aldermen, Mr. Scott, and everyone who has supported this organization along the way. Being a part of the Mayor's Youth Council has meant so much to me, and while I will miss it so greatly, I'm so excited to see it continue to grow and impact future students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
And I know all of these seniors are going to go on to do great things, and I don't know which schools they're all going to, but I do know that Ellie has been accepted to West Point. Let's give her a hand for that. Good speech, Luke. What are we going to do without all y'all next year?
Let me.
Luke, can you not get control of these people?
You need us to squeeze in a little bit more? Yeah. All right, I'll squeeze in. Y'all can get we get a few squatters right here.
Three, two, one.
All the parents get the pictures you need? Y'all stay till you see the parents sit down. All right, thank y'all again for all your service. Thank you, Nestor. All right, y'all, we're going to move to item number 12. I will give y'all a second for the ones that need to leave. Okay, item number 12 is the approval of the proclamation for National Donate Life or Blue and Green Day on April 10th, 2026. And we have a representative here with us, and I'm going to read this proclamation while she's coming forward. Whereas every year National Donate Life observes Blue and Green Day to amplify the importance of registering as an organ and tissue donor and to encourage the public to wear blue and green to raise awareness. And whereas more than 100,000 Americans, including 4,000 in the Mid-South area, are currently on the national transplant waiting list. And whereas another person is added to the waiting list every 8 minutes, and on average 16 people die every day because the organs they need are not donated in time. Whereas we can all do our part to save lives by educating and encouraging our peers and loved ones to register as organ and tissue donors, and whereas the City of Hernando supports National Donate Life and the Mid-South Transplant Foundation in their efforts to bring new life to men, women, and children in need of life-saving organ and tissue transplants, and whereas we hold those who have saved lives through the gift of donation in the highest regard and are grateful for their selflessness. Now therefore, I, Chip Johnson, Mayor of the City of Hernando, Mississippi, on behalf of the Board of Aldermen, do hereby proclaim April 10th, 2026 as Blue and Green Day in the City of Hernando, Mississippi, and encourage all residents to promote the importance of organ and tissue donation and to support the life-saving mission of donor registration. Having read that, could I have a motion to approve and present this proclamation?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. This proclamation is hereby approved, and we would like to present you with it. Nestor, could you get a picture with us? Just get a picture. Yeah, if y'all wouldn't mind coming back around. Did you want to say anything?
Hell, my daughter, I am an ambassador for the Mid-South Transplant, and my daughter passed, and she saved a lot of lives. And I just wish everybody could get on board, sign up, get registered. It really helps. We have a whole lot of people that need organs, and nowadays it seems like it's the young kids, babies, because they're getting caught up in the process. So we appreciate if anybody and everybody can get out and get registered.
Thank you for that. All right, so there's people watching us on YouTube. So the people that don't have it on their ID that says they're a transplant donor, what do they need to do?
Get registered, go to midsouhtransplant.org.
Go to midsouhtransplant.org.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Okay, on to business. Item 13 is the approval of a change order for the curb and gutter project with Alterra Construction in the amount of $10,381.33 that was required to meet MDOT requirements. Is there anyone here from Neil Schaefer tonight? I don't think they are. I'm going to explain what happened. They had presented the project for that curb and gutter down near the Oak Grove intersection to MDOT and gotten an approval on their whole package. And then when the workers got out there, MDOT changed the rules and made them put a whole bunch of extra people out there doing signage. And they really didn't have a choice. So this is, I would have appreciated if they would have told us beforehand, but it was kind of in midstream. And so we have to approve this change order that was done in accordance with MDOT requirements. And if y'all remember, this project is using up the rest of the House and Senate bill money for that intersection, and the extra is being paid for at y'all's direction from the Modernization Act or use tax money. Any questions or?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so they changed their actual guidelines and policies?
Someone from MDOT came and told them they had to put someone on every side of that roundabout, which was not what they had had in their plan that we had approved as part of the budget. So the workers who were out there, or the company, had a certain amount of signage and labor involved in the project that we approved, and then MDOT changed the rules while they were standing out there. That's the way Mr. Olivey with Neil Schaefer described it to me. And I let him know that we would have appreciated him asking this board before he did a change order, but I understood he was trying to get the job done too, so.
Yeah. If I'm remembering correctly, this original contract amount was what their bid was, and then we negotiated the current contract amount, which is $26,000 less, because we were looking at some of the line items that they submitted to us.
We did.
Correct?
We
So
shrunk it down for sure.
we kind of ended up in the middle of it when it's all said and done, I guess.
But this will be the last of this project, and that will finish out the last $4,000 left in that bank account, and then Nicole will get to do the final report on that to the legislature, and that project will be over and done with, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. And I think we've ended up with a good project down there. So even under duress, could I get someone to make a motion to approve that change order?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote on that one.
Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman Piper. Alderman McClendon.
Nay.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson. Alderman Wicker.
And that motion passes. Thank y'all. Item 14 is a better one. It's the approval of a change order reduction for the EWP project with WG Harrell Construction in the amount of $768.75. And then in your docket of claims, we are approving their final paycheck that would include this change order. And then we'll be applying for the rebate and the grant from the EWP and RCS people, and that'll get everything paid back off. So if I could have an approval for that change order in the negative amount.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So motion and a second. I'm going to go out on a limb and do a roll call vote on this one. I'm sorry, we'll just say, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay, that one passes, thank you. Item 15, we'll have Joe Frank come up to approve the 2026 Hernando paving project, the lowest and best bid from Lehman Roberts in the amount of $1,941,150.80. And the estimate we had on that from Joe Frank was $2 million. And we were all scared to death that the higher crude oil prices were going to affect it. And the other bidders were about 300,000 higher than that, 350,000 higher at least. So we do feel like we got a good bid. We do know Lehman Roberts does good work. And Joe Frank, I'll let you finish that up.
Okay. That's pretty much it. We received the bids on March the 30th. Lehman Roberts was the low bidder. We had two other bidders on it that were higher, as the mayor said. And they indicated to us they were ready to go to work, that they had some big highway jobs later on in the year, but they'd like to go to work on this one as soon as they can. So I'd recommend to you to accept the low bid from Lehman Roberts.
Any questions for Joe on that one? Is there a motion?
This is following the recommendation of that Civil Link gave to us. It was like Mount Pleasant, and it was
You want me to read the names of the streets?
yes, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay.
They're not in our packet, so.
Okay. Part of Green Tea Boulevard West, Heritage Drive, McCracken Road, McInvale Road, the part of Memphis Street that we haven't done, that's the north part, Mount Pleasant Street, that part that hadn't been done, starts from Commerce and goes north. Robertson Road, Robinson Street, and West Oak Grove Road.
And your estimate was 2 million, so we came in 60,000 below? Okay, that's good.
The county has a little part of that they will owe.
Yeah, I think they're gonna, they're looking into it. So if you may or may not know, if you're going out Oak Grove Road, you drive on city roads, and then you're in a little piece of county, then you're a little piece of city and a little piece of county. You know, you drive it every day.
Yes, so they are going to do that.
So I've talked to Bob Jarman. He obviously has to get permission from his board, but we think it's about $75,000 worth of paving they would have to do. They didn't really have any advance notice on it, so they're going to have to do a little scrambling. I think they want to do it. But they also have a, what's the word we use for that, Joe Frank?
They have a
contract.
yearly contract
Yeah.
with Lehman Roberts.
And it's just to do a certain amount, so they, per ton, I guess, if you'd call it. And so they're going to use that contract when they do their part, most likely, but hopefully it would be reasonably priced while they're doing the work. Anything else?
The only other thing I'd ask is I know there was some, I sent some of it to somebody at Lehman Roberts. There were some issues with some of the last paving that was done, like in November. Did they talk to you about it?
Yeah, I've talked to them about that.
We just got to get those smoothed out, because I think we can all agree it wasn't up to par for what we want.
Okay.
Those couple spots over at Forest Meadows? Yeah.
I've looked at that, and they're going to come back, take care of that.
Yeah, because I want to keep, they generally do a good job, and they're the low bidder, but if their work's going to be like that, it's going to be hard to say they're the lowest and the best, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that
I
up.
know they have a warranty on the work, so it's something they can address. So.
So for several of those streets are around school areas, right? So are we going to coordinate that paving? I know they want to get started, but,
Between May 20th and July 31st.
It may be that we have to do it during the daytime in between school hours on some of them, because they act like they're out of work and might get the whole thing done at
okay.
once.
Well, I know it can be done quickly sometimes, so just, if they're just mindful of those areas,
Okay.
And when we're talking about McInville, we're including the part in front of, I can't remember the map. It was the part in front of Walmart and all of that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, well, that is.
There is a part over there that was kind of paved over recently, when they did the lane expansion.
When the county did that for us.
Yeah, and it's kind of sinking a little bit in that part.
I see that spot.
Okay,
We'll mill that spot out and
Okay.
see what's wrong with it
gotcha.
before we overlay it.
Right, yeah.
And just so y'all kind of know the process, there's a whole map of pieces and parts in there that need to be milled or known bad sections. And Joe Frank, literally, if they ask him, takes them around and shows them to them. And now, with Lehman Roberts having the bid, he'll be out there with them, pointing those out before they get into each road. So there's a lot of labor on Joe's part managing that while it's going on.
And this does include striping, restriping all the roads as you see them today. So that's in there.
Restriping Mackinville even better.
Yeah.
Hopefully much
Yes,
different than it is.
that'll be better.
over there, very faint.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions before a motion? Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 16 is the resolution authorizing Denise Harden as applicant agent for FEMA-4899-DR.MS. We were classified as a Code B storm up here where we are. We're turning in some damages to them, and Denise has been the one working with them. The lady in charge said she would like Denise to be the one that was the official applicant agent on our behalf, because she's been putting all the data in there, and we're almost through getting that data in there. Quite frankly, we don't have very high hopes that we're going to get any money back. If we do, it'll be just a very, very little, because we didn't make it to a C. But that just is what it is. But we're still jumping through all the hoops and spending all the time just in case, because any money is extra money we can use in our budget. So just part of this is just if y'all would make a motion to authorize Denise as the applicant agent for us. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote.
Alderman Wicker. Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman Piper.
Aye.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson.
And the motion passes. Item 17 is approval of the police state plan of operation and to approve Chief Ellis to sign the documents. If y'all have any questions, the chief can come up and answer them.
What equipment are we getting?
We're not, they have a change in directors,
I got you.
and it's just paperwork, just redoing the paperwork. We're not looking to do anything, it's just in case we do.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion to approve and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion ends. Okay, item 18 is what y'all have all been waiting for, the end of the year update from the Department of Parks and Recreation's Director, Jared Barkley.
Hey, evening, y'all. Give our review for 2025. Can everybody hear me? All right, just to recap or freshen up on our vision and mission. So simply put, our vision is to be the heart of our city. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for our community. 2025, we were the beneficiaries of a lot of great donations. We as a department, but also the residents of Hernando. So I want to go through those and highlight them chronologically. So in March of 2025, the crew of Hernando donated $4,000. This is proceeds from the Mardi Gras Ball. That went to purchase, as you can see, catching equipment, fielding masks for ages from coach pitch up to 14-year-olds. So we're able to roll that out prior to the season starting in the spring. That's been a great benefit for us and for our coaches and participants in our programs, baseball and softball. The Hernando Main Street Chamber of Commerce went for a ARPA grant couple years ago, and part of that scope was Kirkendall Park. So with that, you may remember, had some railroad ties that were old and really worn out, and some signage that needed to be replaced. So with the money, some of the proceeds they got from ARPA grant, we were able to give that site a new facelift, a much needed one. So, and then Church Park had a lot of action in 2025. So first, the Hernando Young Women's Club, through proceeds that they've received for many years with their Sweetheart Dance, was able to raise enough funds to build a new play structure on the side of that concrete pad that's got painting of the map of the U.S. on it, a pour-in-place rubber surfacing there underneath it. Also included was the equipment and installation for the merry-go-round and a new swing set. So I apologize, I'm fumbling. I'm recovering from the flu, so I'm trying to find my words here.
While you're trying to find them, I will say that my youngest grandkids have now named that their favorite park. So we go off.
Great. Excellent. So very, very thankful for their donation. Secondly, we had the Southern Community Foundation, who was able to raise funds through last year was their inaugural gala. This went to Church Park to put in adaptive, sensory-friendly play equipment. So we've got here a communication board for those who are nonverbal. It's got things like water, restroom, that sort of thing. A musical station, an ADA ramp. We didn't have a way to access that playground via ramp before. That seat right there actually spins 360, so it's a sensory sensation. There's the new swing set in the back, Young Women's Club, and then there's a 5-point harness swing that was part of Southern Community Foundation, and then what you call a reaction swing, where you sit on either side. It could be a parent and kid or two kids, and you can see each other's reactions during the swing. It's a neat experience. We were also able, with support of one of our sponsors, Lehman Roberts, Memphis Stone and Gravel, to try to return some generosity and do a food drive during our spring and fall soccer seasons for the Interfaith Council on Poverty. So spring 2025, we collected 59 items. Fall, around the holiday season, we expanded the drive for 2 weeks and were able to collect 195 items, and coordinated with Miss Roxanne specifically on what was needed for them. So made sure that what we tried to collect was beneficial to them. We just wrapped up another food drive and collected about 80 items this past spring. Going back to Church Park, so in-house, this was our largest project of 2025. We had a renovation and added 4 pickleball courts, and then also put back down the 2 tennis courts at Church Park, new posts. All in, that was about a $48,000 project, so it turned out really well. And like Alderman Piper said earlier in the meeting, it gets a lot more use these days from the pickleball and all the other action at Church Park.
I think we've moved the teenagers from the Walmart parking lot to that park, and I'm loving to see them playing pickleball.
It's definitely active. A couple of high-level views of Gale Center. So we started tracking back in 2023 our volume rentals with the Gale Center, and also our rented pavilions throughout the park system. So that's 3 at Conger Park. Lee Summit has 1, and Church Park has 1 as well. So just a good dashboard to see kind of where our high points are, busy seasons, and could go into that more in depth if you like.
Are those busier ones on the top graphs, is that in June or May?
Yes, sir. So we get a lot of volume. Gale Center on the top. During the summer, so you've got graduation parties, you've got family reunions, we had some weddings. And then spring and fall, right when it's very comfortable, like right now, with outside pavilion rentals are really popular, as you would imagine there. Wanted to go over a couple of programs that Dolly Breakin, our programs director, did for us in 2025. So top left, we've got Yoga in the Park. That was with Jill from Stars in Motion. Victoria Smith won our Park Art contest in 2024. Actually won it again in 2025. This past week, they had the announcement there. Scavenger hunt there. Fishing rodeo, bottom left. So that's on the books to happen again May 2nd of this year at Lee Summit Park. So announcement here, but go ahead and mark your calendar for it. Cookies with Santa, bottom center, had a good turnout for that this year. This is our first year to move it from a Sunday afternoon to a Friday evening, and turnout was, I thought, well received. And it was also a good opportunity for us to do lights on the front of the Gale Center in anticipation for that, and I thought that was a nice added bonus as well, too. Dolly also does our Young at Heart program, which Luke mentioned at his Mayor Youth Council speech. They do a luncheon once a month, the third Thursday of each month. She's gotten to where she averages right around 100 for that. Mayor Johnson's actually the speaker in April.
There'll only be 50 when I speak.
What's that?
There's a low turnout when I
Oh,
speak.
okay, is there, okay. And this photo here is from a tea party that she had, a really neat event there. Youth sport numbers, trends are stable and put down there denoting our 4-year average. I like to look at it in a 4-year snapshot there. So basketball, you can see it trending a little down, but it's still above the prior 4-year average. So still a good program there. Oh, I wanted to add too. I know this is 2025, we're in 2026, but youth soccer this past spring eclipsed 600 for the first time ever. So wanted to give a note there and a thanks to Michael Carson on what he does with that program. There's some photos from our sport program. So Challenger Soccer, which is our special needs soccer program that Michael Carson started a couple years back, has really taken that on. Gets a lot of help from, like Luke said, Mayor's Youth Council have been great. The middle school soccer teams with Blair, and this past 2 weeks ago, the Northwest women's soccer team came out and helped them. Did a really good job with that. Bottom center is the track program that was started last year by Brandon Williams, and it was approved to do it again this summer. So we're looking forward to that. That was the first year we did it, and it had 40 participants. Pickleball tournament that Michael did in conjunction with Gatorade Fieldhouse, top right, and T-ball had a dress up for Halloween in the fall. Overview some ongoing projects. So we've got the 2 projects at Renaissance phase 1 and 2 ongoing. Gale Center Energy Service Project, so that's the roofing project, HVAC improvement, HVAC control improvements, LWCF grant funded project at Kirkendall Park for LED sports field lighting, and then we'll be applying for CDBG grant for the Gale Center improvements in the next month or so. Dolly Breakin does a really good job at our marketing and our publications. So this is the 2026 program for our events and all of our offerings. This is on our website. There's also a hard copy, I believe, in the mayor's office. We've got a couple at our office as well. Definitely encourage you to check that out if you haven't done so already. And over the past year, we did our employee spotlights. Did about once a month. Dolly put these together as well, along with the employee. So just a good opportunity to know more about our staff and what they do for our city. But can't do it without them, and just wanted to thank them and thank you all.
Thank you, Jared. We appreciate all you do for our city, and please tell your team we think the same of them.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good report. All right. We will move on to item 19, the end-of-year update from Chief Marshal Berry and the Fire Department.
Good evening. Y'all know I love this, so we're going to be quick. All right, so right now we have 59 personnel, and we've got 3 different divisions, the fire division, EMS, and then the fire marshal's office. On the fire side, we've got 41 firemen, which we've increased that the last few years. Total number of calls have been 1,541 calls with 7 fires inside the city limits, 3 in the county. We've had 1,332 medical calls that the fire trucks have responded to, 105 lift assist, 6 vehicle extrications, 12 vehicle fires, 17 grass fires. We've had a total of 3,067 training hours. We've got 4 people on our department that represent us for the Mississippi Task Force 1. On the EMS side, we've got 21 total medics, which is outstanding because 5 years ago it was hard to keep 6. 16 of those medics are single role medics. That's their main job. We've got 5 firemen that are also paramedics now, and 17 of our firemen are EMT basics. Our ambulances ran 2,768 calls, which is approximately 231 a month. Our largest month last year was 256 calls in October. We had 222 times that we were at EMS 0, and what that is
Let me tell, hey, Bruce, mute your phone again.
EMS 0 is basically when every ambulance we have is on a call at the same time, and we don't have one here just in case something else happens. That's actually a good number, and I'll explain it to y'all here in a little bit. Our EMS call breakdown by the hour, so ambulances, when they respond, they've got to go get the patient, assess the patient, carry it to the hospital, and get back. So their time frame is from the time they leave the station till they get back in service. Less than an hour is 42.2%, which is fabulous, because if y'all were here during COVID, that 42% was the greater than 3 hours side. So an hour to an hour and a half was 38% of our calls. 1.5 to 3 hours is 18% of our calls, and greater than 3 hours is 0.6. So they're able to get in and get out much faster, and it's got a lot to do with the amount of medics we have, the amount of ambulances we have, so we can move them along a lot quicker. We've got a total of almost 900 hours of continuing education on the EMS side. And towards the end of 24, we bought a 3rd ambulance. We worked on getting it ready. We actually put it in service in March of 25 last year. And we put it in at Station 1. And due to that ambulance, last year our EMS 0 was at 393 times that year. This year it was 220. So just by adding that one ambulance, knocked that down 44%. That's a pretty tremendous move just for one ambulance. Also in December, this last December, we acquired a 2nd ambulance with you guys' help, working with the county, and we were able to get another ambulance, which now gives us 2 backup ambulances. And what that has helped us do is we have not had to borrow an ambulance from anybody. When we've had one get serviced, worked on, or whatever, we've had plenty of good ambulances to put our people in and let them keep working. On the fire marshal side, we've got 2 inspectors. They did 1,926 inspections. Total of violations is 1,110. The violations cleared is 584. The remaining violations are just in plan review. There's always violations in plan review. That's where they come, ask us what they need to do. We kind of tell them what they need to do. So they hadn't really started building yet. It's just things that we have to document. We don't have them separated on a building that's already built versus a building that we are building. We issued 5 burn permits, only had to extend 1 of them. And we only had to investigate 1 of our fires. It was only one that was a major fire on Tanner Cove, and it was deemed accidental. On our public relations, we pretty much do whatever the city wants us to do, a church, a school. We like it, we enjoy it. If y'all have anything that we haven't attended, we would love to attend it, because these guys love going to the schools, they love talking to kids, they love talking to pretty much anybody that wants to listen to them. Sometimes you got to run them off. And I think that's it. Any questions?
Any questions for the chief? Chief, I appreciate all you and your crew do, and thank you for bringing the need of that ambulance to us. And I want to commend this board for taking that need seriously and making the hard decisions to get that 3rd ambulance in service.
It has helped us tremendously. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, item 20. If y'all will remember, we're applying for a CDBG grant to do some ADA accessibility work at the Gale Center. We've hired a company to help us with that, and also Daryl from North Delta Planning Development District is going to manage it for us. But one of the things we have to do to qualify for it is to proclaim Fair Housing Month. So I'm going to read the proclamation so we can officially proclaim it. Whereas April marks the anniversary of the passage of the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which sought to eliminate discrimination in housing opportunities and to affirmatively further housing choices for all Americans, and whereas the ongoing struggle for dignity and housing opportunity for all is not the exclusive province of the federal government, and whereas vigorous local efforts to combat discrimination can be as effective, if not more so, than federal efforts, and whereas illegal barriers to equal opportunity in housing, no matter how subtle, diminish the rights of all, and whereas the North Delta Planning and Development District Area Fair Housing Event will be conducted virtually on April 30th at 3 p.m. Now therefore, I, Chip Johnson, Mayor of Hernando, on behalf of the Board of Aldermen, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2026 as Fair Housing Month and encourage all agencies, institutions, businesses, and individuals, public and private, in the city of Hernando to abide by the letter and the spirit of the Fair Housing Act and to support equal housing opportunity for all. Can I have a motion to approve that proclamation?
Motion. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And that motion passed. And in case y'all wonder why there's a voice coming from up here occasionally, Alderman Bruce Robinson is attending remotely and is voting with us tonight. We'll move on to item 21, which is PL 1961. Austin, if you would lead that.
Yes, sir. PL 1961. It's a request for final plat approval for the Phase 8 of the Delta Landing Commercial Subdivision. Nick Croon's here tonight to represent the owner, Johnny McBride. This is one commercial lot on 2.17 acres within the existing Delta Landing PUD. This will be the last mixed-use building in their downtown square. So the bulk requirements are listed in the PUD and will be also listed in the restricted covenants. This was heard by the Planning Commission on March 10th and recommended unanimously for approval. A little bit about the plat. You can see the white area where Lot 8 is written on the plat will be the physical location of the building. The hatched area is the common open space, which is the parking behind the building. And so this is the final mixed-use building. And then if you continue on in the staff report on the color rendering of the development as a whole, I've highlighted where this building will be within the downtown area. And so this is the final mixed-use building. With that, I prepared a proposed motion in your staff report with all this standard approval criteria that we've listed in the previous phases. And Nick's here tonight, and I'm available if you've got any questions.
Are there any questions on that one? Is there anyone here at the public that would like to speak to this topic? If not, is there a motion?
Mayor, I motion to grant final plat approval, Delta Landing Phase 8 commercial subdivision consisting of one lot of 2.17 acres west of McInville Road and south of Pleasant Hill in Section 31, Township 2 South, Range 7, based upon a finding that the submitted final plat generally conforms to the requirements of the city's code and ordinances subject to the following conditions, 1 through 10.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We'll have a roll call vote.
Alderman Wicker.
Aye.
Alderman Kitchens.
Abstain.
Alderman Piper. Alderman McLendon. Nay. Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson.
We have lost him. Well, the motion passes even without his vote. So that motion passes. Item 22 is requesting board approval. Oh, are you back, Bruce? Did you vote yes on that last one or no?
Yes, aye.
Ah, okay, got it. So that motion passes, item 21. Item 22, requesting board approval for a total of a $3,000 change order on Renaissance Park Phase 2 project to change the color of the artificial turf infield color of the outfield to remain natural grass as specified in construction documents. The change is from an entirely tan color representing the dirt area of a skinned infield as in a traditional softball field to a traditional looking baseball infield with alternating colors of infield grass to mimic mowing lines. Requested document with rendering is attached. So do y'all have any questions for Jared about that?
I'll just clarify, it's over the $300 contractor mark, so it's total $3,300.
That's a good
Sorry about
catch there. So 3,300 is the total change, and that will catch all of the fields?
All of them.
Okay.
Just while we're talking about, do you have an estimated completion for that? I know there's been some issues with some.
Yeah, yes, sir, July, so July into August.
And we are having an internal meeting, I think, on Monday.
Monday, yes, sir.
With the contractor, just to be clear on that and get a better time
I
frame.
think we'll still be ready for fall baseball out there.
I hope so. That's what we're moving towards.
That's why we're staying in close contact with the contractors to keep pushing them.
This is just purely aesthetic, right?
It is.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson.
Aye.
Alderman Wicker.
Aye.
Alderman Kitchens.
No.
Alderman Piper. Alderman McClendon. No.
That motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jared. Item 23 is the approval to make the easement offers that you have in your packet from appraised value submitted for the water line project that's going to connect the Byhalia Water Plant to the new Byhalia Water Tower. Joe Frank, do you want to speak to that?
Okay. Moving along with that project, a couple of meetings ago, you approved to have 4 pieces of property appraised along Byhalia Road that would connect, of course, the new water plant that you see out there with the elevated tank that you don't see yet, except the foundation of it. So you don't have the full reports, but this is what the full reports look like on all 4 pieces of property.
And you're just asking us to approve for you to make those offers to them so we can
That's
make
right.
the purchase.
The property owners have not seen this yet, so I've got to get y'all's approval to show them these appraisals, and hopefully they'll accept them, and we can continue to move forward.
And in that motion, would we need to go ahead and, if they accept them, authorize us to go ahead and cut them a check on the next docket, or whichever docket comes next?
I think so. That would work. Then our attorney has to formally approve it for the DWSI program, and
Okay.
once we do that.
Any questions for the attorney or for Joe Frank?
Is this being paid for out of the ARPA funds?
This is that $1 million DWSI loan we'll be getting for that water line.
Yes, we had some money in there for property,
Okay.
purchasing of property.
You already secured that loan?
The loan is secured. When will they pay us back for do we just submit these invoices to them and they pay us as we go?
They pay us at the end. We get the facility plan money on the front end, and then we may get some of this money. But generally, on the construction part, we will have to pay that, and then they'll reimburse us.
Okay.
Are these appraisals within what we estimated for getting the real property? Is it for that project? Is this pretty much what we planned on spending for the land, essentially?
Yes. Yes.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion?
I move to accept the appraisals and also allow for checks to be on the next docket, or however that needs to be said.
Okay.
Whatever, Nicole, you can paraphrase.
Is there a second to Alderwoman Lynch's motion?
Second.
Have a roll call vote.
Alderman McClendon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lynch.
Aye.
Alderman Robinson.
Aye.
Alderman Wicker. Alderman Kitchens.
Aye.
Alderman Piper.
That motion passes. Thank you all, and thank you, Joe. Item 24 is an explanation of water department letters that have been and will be sent to some of our customers. I just thought it was important for the citizens to know why these letters might be coming in the mail. I'm going to just read, there were 3 different ones that are going out. One's from the East Parkway plant, so the customers on that plant have received one that was based on a clerical error where a letter, or one blank just wasn't checked properly. So Department of Health makes us send out a letter saying we messed up. The Jaybird violation and the Lauder Road violation are when we got populous enough that the Department of Health made us take one more sample per month on each of those plants than we were taking. The water operator at that time did not pass that word along, so that extra sample did not get taken on both of those. So we have to send a letter to our citizens saying that those mistakes were made. So at no time, though, was our water ever bad or dangerous. We just didn't collect that last sample. And since then, we have. And Department of Health is happy with us. And we feel pretty certain that our new-to-be water operator, Mr. Clayton, is going to make sure that never happens again. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there as an explanation so the board knows and the citizens know. And I want to remind everybody that about 2 years ago at the water conference in the state, we took a sample of our water down there and won the best water in the state. So it's unfortunate that these clerical errors happen, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen again, but we still probably have the best water in the state. So are there any questions or concerns?
When did we know there was an issue?
When I finally got a letter was mid-January on that first one, and then the other ones came after that, I think. I'm playing that from just off the top of my head.
So you were notified, like, when it showed up in your mailbox? 'Cause that's what I was notified too. Like, did you know ahead of time?
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I knew, we had to send the mail piece out ourselves, yeah, so we knew about it. I probably should have let y'all know that. It kind of, quite frankly, fell off the radar because we were having
We had something
issues.
going on, for sure.
Yeah,
Just communicate with us, that's.
yep, and that's why I wanted to do this in the open board meeting, so trying to make our communication a little clearer. All right, thank y'all for listening to that, and we have that on the record. Item 25, a couple of the board members had asked it to include a discussion on changes to the Byhalia-Mackingville traffic signal. I know we lost some power a couple of months back, and it had to be reset, and it went back to the way it was working. But I think some of y'all might have some ideas of how we might could make it better. So y'all want to start that discussion, Natalie or Ben?
Well, I was there the other day, trying to turn on Byhalia, turning south on Mackinville. And I know it's a double turn lane, but I was thinking, is it possible that could be like a yield? Because you have the left turn, and then it just goes red, and then you just sit there, and there's no one was coming, and it just seemed like the straight light was green. So that was my question about that. I know when you're traveling on Mackinville, there is a yield to get onto Byhalia.
Oh, that yellow turn signal?
Mhm.
Okay. So you're thinking we could possibly do a yellow one on the other one, when you're heading west on Byhalia, you're about to turn south on Mackinville?
And north, same.
Both, yeah, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think that would help from a school traffic standpoint, potentially, with people trying to get to Hernando Hills, Hernando High School, and vice versa to the intermediate school and the middle school. The other thing I've noticed is like the timing is just off on it. Like if you're sitting going east-west on Byhalia Road, one light will turn green and the traffic's going, the other ones are just staying on red for like several seconds, and then it turns green and you start going again. So there's something that's out of sync there. And like the amount of time you have to go east-west is not many. Sometimes you only have 3 or 4 cars get through there before it turns red again. So it's just, sometimes it can get backed up during certain parts of the day. So we just wanted to get it addressed. I got several emails about it, I guess, recently, so I just wanted to see if we could go ahead and get that taken care of.
We'll get with Joe Frank and the company that reprograms them for us, and the guy that reprograms them is kind of an expert on them himself, but Joe will have the engineering knowledge, and we'll get Courtney and the whole team out there with the experts that could change it for us and see what we can do.
Thank you.
And maybe
Great.
the report back will be that we've changed it, you know, if we get some reason we can't, we'll bring that back to you too, but we're going to look for a yes to that one. Any other concerns on that? Anybody else want to voice it? It does feel very odd out there, and sometimes it feels like you're sitting out there in the middle of the night for 5 minutes waiting on it to change. So hopefully we can get something done about it. Thank y'all for bringing it up. Item 26 is the utility adjustments. Can I have a motion on that?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Utility adjustments are passed. Item 27 is executive session for Public Works personnel. I need a motion to go into closed determination to go into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. We are now in closed session.